The story begins in a small town as a moving truck pulls up in front of an old Victorian-style house. Leaves drift across the lawn as a young girl, Lily, around 12, steps out, looking up at her new home with curiosity mixed with unease. She's just moved here with her family, but something about the house and the town feels strange. As her parents unload boxes, a hunched elderly woman with piercing eyes and silver hair walks up, carrying a porcelain doll. The neighbor, Mrs. Winslow, hands the doll to Lily, insisting it will protect the house. The doll has an unnervingly realistic face, cold, dark eyes, and a red bow in its porcelain hair. Lily's mom dismisses the gift as an odd but harmless gesture, but Lily shivers, already feeling the doll's unsettling presence. Mrs. Winslow, she'll keep watch over you. Just put her in the window, dear. She'll keep the bad things away. Reluctantly, Lily nods and takes the doll inside. She puts it in the window as suggested, but can't shake the feeling that its eyes are following her. As Lily tries to sleep, she hears soft, rhythmic tapping sounds like fingernails drumming. She looks around but sees nothing, only catching a glimpse of the doll's shadow in the window. Telling herself it's her imagination, she goes back to sleep. Over the next few days, odd things start happening. Lily notices that the doll seems to change positions slightly each time she looks at it, but when she asks her parents, they dismiss her concerns. Lights flicker at random times, and the doll's shadow looms on the walls, even in rooms where the doll isn't. Lily tries moving it to different spots, even hiding it in a drawer, but each time she finds it back at the window. One evening, as she's brushing her teeth, Lily hears faint whispers coming from the walls. It sounds like an old lullaby, one that makes her skin crawl. She checks the hallway, but no one else is there. She runs to her parents, but they chalk it up to new house noises. Determined to prove something is wrong, Lily decides to investigate the doll. She does some research online and learns that porcelain dolls were sometimes used to house spirits in Victorian times of practice to keep bad spirits away. However, some legends suggest that if a doll is given away under certain rituals, it can bring misfortune instead. One stormy evening, Lily wakes up to the sound of scratching on her bedroom door. Terrified, she slowly opens it and finds the doll sitting on the floor, facing her. Its once clear porcelain has a faint crack in it, and there's an odd, almost satisfied look in its eyes. Lily, I don't want you here. I'm getting rid of you tomorrow. Lily shoves the doll into her closet and stacks books against the door. But just as she climbs back into bed, she hears the unmistakable sound of the closet door creaking open. She doesn't dare turn around. Halloween night arrives, and Lily can't bear to live with the doll's presence any longer. Her parents are out at a Halloween party, so she decides it's the perfect time to rid herself of it for good. She wraps the doll in an old blanket and sneaks outside in the pouring rain. Thunder crashes as she makes her way to the woods near her house. She digs a shallow hole, shivering in the rain, and places the doll inside, feeling a weight lift as she covers it with soil. But as she's about to leave, a chill runs through her. She senses she's not alone. A faint, whispery voice comes from behind her. She won't protect you if you leave her here. Lily turns around, horrified, to see Mrs. Winslow standing at the edge of the trees, her face twisted in anger. Mrs. Winslow reveals the truth. The doll once belonged to her daughter, who died years ago under tragic, mysterious circumstances. The spirit of her daughter is trapped within the doll, and Mrs. Winslow has been gifting it to unsuspecting families to protect them from a vengeful presence that follows the doll. Mrs. Winslow, without the doll, you have no protection. If you leave her here, she'll come for you instead. Lightning flashes illuminating the doll's face, peeking out from the half-buried soil, its eyes seeming more alive than ever. Lily realizes the only way to break the curse is to return the doll to Mrs. Winslow. Panicked, Lily scoops up the doll, her hands muddy and shaking, and gives it back to Mrs. Winslow, who takes it with a chilling smile. Mrs. Winslow walks away, disappearing into the misty woods, leaving Lily standing there, soaked and trembling. As she heads back to the house, she feels a weight has lifted. Back inside, as she turns to lock the door, Lily hears a soft, rhythmic tapping from upstairs. She races up to her room and freezes. There, in the window, sits the doll, its eyes now fixed on her, watching. As Lily backs away in terror, her faint reflection in the doll's glassy